Welcome to Penny for Your Shots, Conversations and Cocktails with Brilliant Women, the podcast where we uncork the stories and insights of exceptional female leaders from all walks of life. Our goal is to serve up wisdom, tips, and inspiration, and to support each other in rediscovering ourselves and what sets our souls on fire. We'll also share personal memories, paired with friends and a favorite beverage. I'm your host, Penny Fitzgerald, and I believe that the best stories are served up over a glass of wine or a cocktail. So grab a glass, get comfy, and let's pour ourselves into Penny for Your Shots. I just finished leading a 3-day free workshop called Stop Selling, Start Serving, where I led female entrepreneurs through some exercises and visualizations to recognize and move past limiting beliefs. My past experience has included a lot of coaching, and the thing I hear over and over again, especially from the women I've led, is that they want to make a greater impact for their families, their communities, and in the world. They want to grow and serve, and they want to put others' needs above their own. In their businesses, they sometimes feel stuck because they don't want to bug their friends, and in doing so many things for others, their businesses often slide down the priority list. Another thing I hear over and over again is that they need help with the technology. There are tons of options out there, and it becomes overwhelming. That's why I put together this workshop, to remind these brilliant women that they can have a greater impact without sacrificing time for their families and friends. That when you focus on what your audience needs, you can stay in service and you can have a greater impact, especially when you use the right tools and routines. I hope you enjoy these brief snippets from the workshop and gain some insight and inspiration. Need more? We should talk. Or to check out the full replays, go to pennyforyourshots.com/replays. Another big reason why we don't grow our business as effectively as we'd like, and that is our belief system. And if you look at the word belief, lie is part of the word. And how ironic is that? So belief comes from repeated stories from our past that stick. They're the parables that get repeated over and over and over again until they become our truth. So you may have heard this story, but there was a family who always had ham on Easter. And the mom would make it the same way. She would cut the ham in half, then put each half in separate dishes and put the 2 dishes in the oven to roast. And one Easter, one of the family members asked, "So why do you make it like that, cutting it and putting it into 2 pans?" And the mom answered, "Well, that's because that's the way my mom always did. And then I watched her and she taught me, and that's how I did it." So they asked the grandmother, "Well, why did you make the ham that way? Why did you cut it into 2 pieces and bake them in 2 pans?" And she said, "Well, that's the way that my mother always did it." And so they asked the great grandmother why she made the ham that way. "Why did you cut it into 2, put it in 2 pans before roasting it?" And the great grandmother said, "Because it didn't fit in the pan that I had." So it was the way it had always been done, and it had been handed down from generation to generation to generation. That's the way that they saw it had been done. That's the way that they kept doing it. And it just was because, it has a very good reason in the beginning, but I bet that someone along the way had a pan that would fit that ham. So, just because it's the way it's always been done, it just becomes truth. It becomes our truth. Perfectionism is another common belief. I need to get organized first, or I don't like the way I look or sound. I've been podcasting also for a little over a year now. And a lot of people that I talk to, a lot of female entrepreneurs especially, say, "I've always wanted to do that, but I don't like the sound of my own voice." Been there. I'm the same. I don't like the sound of my own voice too, but I'm getting used to it, after a year of doing it. But we don't like the way that we sound, or maybe we don't like the way that we look. Same. Maybe we feel like we need to finish all the training first, or I don't like my presentation. It isn't the way I like it. Or maybe we've heard, "Oh gosh, you shouldn't use XYZ, or you shouldn't say ABC. Oh gosh, I wonder what else you're not supposed to do or not do." And oh my gosh, we might be thinking, "I better do some more research before I put myself out there," or "I better practice and tweak the presentation before I go live. Maybe I should record it over and over and over again until it's perfect." Anybody ever have those thoughts? I mean, that is something that is super, super common. And I've been there too. I also have felt many, many of these things. So that's, don't be um, hard on yourself because that's very common to feel any of these. And by the way, speaking of perfectionism, have you ever watched a movie or a show or read a book that had a perfect character in it? And have you ever noticed that when there is a perfect character, that person is the most hated person in the story? You ever notice that? People don't like perfectionism. So, why do we allow ourselves to be stuck in that? So, do have some wins to celebrate. I know Annette is on the call here and she did her live. So, yay, Annette. Um, Annette, can you unmute yourself and tell everybody a little bit about what you do and how, like, what your live was about or what your recording was about?
Well, I have started a new business as a travel agent. So, a year ago, right now, today, I was in Cancun with some friends, and I just went on there and told them, last year I was in the pool, and this year I'm stuck in snow. So, if you're thinking of that beach vacation, that I could help them and plan that beach vacation with them. So, I went with that.
That was perfect. Yeah. And, you did that in service of others because you know that people who are stuck at home, they're not used to being stuck at home in snow in St. Louis.
Yeah, not this much.
No, no, no. So that, that was in total service of your people. You knew that some would be like, oh my gosh, I got to get out of here. And so that really, I think, would resonate with a lot of people. And that was a perfect way to go live and a perfect reason to talk to your people and share that. So good job.
Yes, that was my first time, so
Yeah. Oh, good. See,
fun.
and now that was part of it too, right? Because how did that feel?
I was nervous, and it took me,
Yeah.
a few tries, but and I know the more I do it, the better it'll be, and the more I should do it. So
Yeah. Yeah. And exactly. That was part of the deal too. It's like when you do it, um, if you're not given a reason to do it, it would be really easy to be like, oh, I'll do it later or I'll do it
yeah,
tomorrow or,
right,
mhm.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm good
Good
about
job.
that. I'll just do it later. So
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about scaling our business because we don't want the level of service that we're able to provide for a handful of clients hold us back from having a greater impact for more people who need what we have. So, how do we do all the things? How do we provide that level of service and continue to grow our business when we're trying to juggle all those balls? We have things that come up in our lives that we need to take care of, and those things can sometimes derail us or they feel like, oh my gosh, I have to take care of this. And so I have to let my business go by the wayside for a bit. They can derail us if we let them. And of course, we need to take care of our families and emergencies do come up. But I'm curious, how long are we going to put ourselves and our dreams on hold? Or do we remember what that dream even was? I mean, how long are we going to wait to try and figure all that out and remember? Because we have a dream in there. I know we do. We just have to uncover it. How long have we done that already? Years? One emergency turns into another, and we feel the tug from all directions. I've been there too. Going through my mom's decline with Alzheimer's, her death, and then followed a month later by a close aunt who had no children of her own. So his cousins took care of her and the responsibilities for planning her burial, even. My dad fell a few weeks later and broke his hip at the age of 98 and had surgery. And then he went into the care center. Um, I'm not saying this for a pity party at all. I'm so incredibly grateful for the time that I could spend with them because I was an entrepreneur, because I had my own business. I was able to structure it and spend more time with them and with my dad over the next 6 years and take him to his appointments, his doctor appointments, everything until he was nearly 103. I had him for a long time and I'm so grateful for that. I had him to myself and I could ask him more questions about his life, and he was in his late 40s when I was born. So I had a lot to catch up on. I had a lot to ask him. And I heard some stories from his friends too, by the way. That was like, whoa, wow, okay. I didn't know he was that. So fun. I'm really grateful for that time that I could spend with my folks and my aunt. And I was able to hold their hands as they left this world. And that is just such a privilege. And I'm so grateful for that. There are definitely situations where you can't do business normally and things will come up that we have to take care of. But I'm here to tell you that when you have your systems in place, your business can keep going even when you're not available. It may look a little different during emergencies, but with the right systems, your business doesn't stop. You can keep moving towards your goals and dreams. Thank you for listening. If you'd like more information or would like to listen to the full replays, they are free and available by going to pennyforyourshots.com/replays. Cheers.
That's a wrap on another spirited episode of Penny for Your Shots, conversations and cocktails with brilliant women. I hope you've enjoyed the intoxicating blend of wisdom, wit, and wonder that these incredible women bring to the table. Check out the show notes for links to resources referenced in today's episode. And remember to subscribe and raise a glass with me every Thirsty Thursday as we continue to serve up inspiration, celebrate resilience, and reignite the passions that set our souls on fire. If you've loved what you've heard, please share the podcast far and wide and leave a sparkling 5-star review to let me know your thoughts. It would also help tremendously if you would visit pennyforyourshots.com and subscribe to learn when new episodes are available and pick up my free recipe. In the meantime, remember that your story deserves to be served and savored. Cheers to your brilliance and of women everywhere. Until next time, keep sipping and experiencing life's extraordinary moments. This is Penny for Your Shots, signing off with a clink and a toast to us. Cheers.